cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, yeah, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, got me locked in on cup though.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to PSGL. George Morgan here and Jack Burnett. All the lights are currently lit here on track, and it is go, go, go!
Down through the Mercedes teammate.
Denoso with a crafty maneuver up the inside. Masterclass with the Chilean.
Crucial championship points on offer here.
Do not count out Danny Berezne.
Longe has done the job. This is for the win between these two.
Freddie Rasmussen wins the United States Grand Prix.
Alfie Butcher wins for the first time ever. Lucas Blakely takes the championship. It's Barry Boyman.
Jarno Opmeer is your champion.
Everybody, and welcome to another round of PSGL PCF4. We are back at it once again for round 5 here in Japan, and alongside me this evening isn't your usual co-com, which is usually Mythsky. He's unfortunately away, I think, for the next 2 weeks, so I have the lovely Mackie alongside me. How are you on this fine Thursday evening?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's unfortunate Mythsky can't be here, but of course there's always someone around to replace for F4. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and yeah, I'll be co-commentating alongside Max tonight.
Yeah, pleasure to have you in the commentary box as always. So lots to talk about after last time out in Hungary. Of course, we saw Isaac Leet pick up a 10-second and a 3-second time penalty for his attempted overtake on Marcel Paps, which led to contact with Jay Kennedy. He got those removed. He moves up to second place in that race after Steward's inquiries, and Marcel Paps does drop to third. Your winner, though, does stay the same. Of course, last time out, your winner being Sammy Simeone. We're about to get started into the session, so I'll quickly run you through your standings now. Justin Ayert, that leads the way on 43 points, wasn't able to capitalise on Exafox last time out, being away. Exafox now back here in Japan. He's 7 points clear of second place. Sammy Simeone is now up to third after his glory last time out. in Hungary. Alexander Dimas in 4th with JSD in 5th, who again can't be here tonight. So that's 2 races in a row where JSD could miss out on some big points for the championship. Jeremy Gallonay in 6th, Isaac Leet in 7th after moving up to 2nd place. He's on 20 points. Still only 23 points behind championship leader Justin Ertz. Daniel Gottschalk in 8th, Jay Kennedy 9th, Lewis Walker rounding out your top 10. Of course, only doing 1 race is Lewis, and he's still in that top 10. Ivan Santamaria is in 11th, followed by Marcel Pabst in 12th, of course, after that 3rd place last time out. And then the rest of your order goes as follows: Sven Schumacher, Lucas Besnaya, No Grosjean, DV19, Emil Lundell, Jack Humphreys, Kiko, Petar de Beck, Linus Donovan, Liam Bowman, Florian Van Selter, and then finally Carlos Torres. Those are the drivers that have started races and scored points. But we're into the lobby now here in Japan. Of course, Suzuka, 18 turns, 10 to the right and 8 to the left, 5.807 kilometers or 3.608. Which bring us to a race length of 156.789 kilometers, and the lap record held by Lewis Hamilton in 2019 for 1 minute 30.983. But the drivers are heading out onto the track now, man. So far this week evening, around this high attrition Suzuka circuit.
I mean, obviously, it's a very technical circuit. You've got the S's at the start, then you've got 130R later in the track as well. It's a very hard corner to get correct. I am unfortunately having some audio issues, so if you can't hear the game on the stream, that is not you, that is on my end. I do apologise for that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting qualifying. It's a very good track, but it also can get narrow at points where overtaking during the race may be difficult. So those who are able to set a good qualifying time here may be a significant advantage.
Yeah, they certainly could be. Of course, this circuit, that first sector, except from turn 1, you can't really overtake. Everywhere else on the track, though, sector 2 and 3 do have plenty an overtaking opportunity. Of course, now heading into Spoon Curve with Leo Toneletto, who is debutising here this evening in Japan. So it's his first race for Leo in PSGL PCF4. So let's see what he can do on his first flying lap. Of course, will be the first driver to set a flying lap. So a brilliant way to start your season off with some screen time. So heading through the final chicane, and now heading across the start-finish line. It'll be DRS open for Leo as he now enters his first flying lap of qualifying. Up to 8th gear, you then look to that left-hand side, you turn the car in flat out, and then once you get past the first curve on the right, you then start to brake down to 5th gear, back on the power, nicely run the car all the way out wide. Leo taking a lot of curve through the first part of the Suzuka S's. Is he going to be able to keep this one nice and tidy? A little bit of a twitch from the rear end through there. Now up Dunlop curve of turn 6, and this is the run into the 2 Degners, into the first sector split. 31.5, not the best we could possibly see, but still not too bad for a first sector. Perfectly done through the 2 Degner corners, and now into the hairpin of turn 10, which I like to call the Kobayashi curve. Down to 3rd gear, a bit of a slide on rear exit. You now head for the run into Spoon. It's a long right-hander this through turn 11. Just keep the car pinned to the floor. Late on the brakes as you enter into Spoon. Through the first part, the apex runs a little bit too far wide in 5th gear, and that is Leo's lap over and done with, invalidating very, very quickly there, and unfortunately not getting a first run on the board, which you do need around this circuit, as it builds your confidence massively. Next driver behind Leo was, I think, Ivan Santamaria, sorry. I think there is someone just a little bit further around. I can't seem to find who that is, but I'll go on board with Ivan. See, now exits out of the chicane, and he's invalidated here. It's Sammy Simeone, who actually is the first driver around a 26.803. That's the benchmark for everyone to beat. Last week's posted to Besnaya, 2 tenths off from him. Daniel Gottschalk in 3rd, and then Isaac Leet bumps himself up into 3rd. Alexander Dimas, though, who's been ever quick this season, puts himself onto provisional pole, but it's still very, very close at the top. Sammy Simeone only just off the top of the times by 31 milliseconds, but it seems quite a few mistakes are creeping in for these drivers so far, Mackie.
Yeah, definitely seeing some mistakes. Of course, we saw on that first lap that was invalidated, just went a little bit too wide. Looked like the braking was just a slight bit too late and just ran very slightly past that white line, which of course does invalidate your lap time. We saw some lockups on that lap as well, and it's just something that you've got to get used to around the circuit. Is you will lock up occasionally, and you just got to try and drive around it in such a way where you're not going to lose too much lap time.
Yeah, that's certainly something you need to look out for around this circuit, is the locking up, and also just the running off the circuit and invalidating. Track limit penalties can play a big part here in Japan. Of course, as we saw Leo do go wide at Spoon Curve, pick up invalidation in the race, there will be a warning to do the same through the Degners and into the final chicane. So that's where a lot of these challenges really do come. It's not from the track itself, it's from the track limits. So it's going to be difficult to see, easy to see drivers pick up penalties, and it could be difficult for them to keep the car on the road at times. So it's going to be difficult for them in this race. Marcel Paps coming up to the line. Where can he go? Of course, third last time out, only good enough for P10, nearly a whole second off the pace. But it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers face this one. Of course, strategy is going to play a big part, especially with only having one DRS zone. So it's not like DRS trains are going to run rampant around here. So it's got this circuit very much a driver-dependent track here in Japan, and it's going to be exciting to see which drivers come out on top. Currently, we've got Galanaya, who of course had those three pole positions in a row at the start of this season, had unfortunate races, only was able to convert one into a race win. So it'll be interesting to see how he can do around here. He's very good at these driver-dependent circuits. Same with Dimas as well. They've just both been very, very unlucky this season. But Simeone still keeping this one on a high. Of course, the win last time out. He's on the front row of the grid so far in this qualifying session. Drivers still on laps as Exafox to the line. He's in the championship hunt as well. Still plenty of drivers in that championship hunt. But crucially here, Mackie, championship leader Justin Ertz, who isn't strong in qualifying in a track where you might want to be strong down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not exactly where you want to be, but of course it is only the first lap, so you do still have 11.5 minutes left in this session to be completing laps. So it's not, I'd say, the end of the world just yet, but it is definitely something they're going to want to watch and potentially go out there and be a bit more risky in your second lap than maybe you would be. Do more of a third lap type lap. It's definitely something they'll be talking to strategists about.
Yeah, 100%. That is something they'll be talking to their strategist about. Jack Humphreys is on a lap here, I think, as he's now heading up into Spoon Curve, down to 5th gear, back on the power nicely, then keep it in 5th, roll the car through the second part, and then run it all the way out wide. So Jack now heading up the hill into 130R. What's it going to be in the middle sector split here for him? An 11.2. Not too bad for that middle sector. Obviously more time can be found, but now enters the Casio Triangle for the final time on this lap. DRS will be open for Jack Humphreys as he enters across the line, keeping it tight to that inside line. Where does he go? Not actually good enough to move him off that back row of the grid, and slowest overall in this session. Emil Lundell is in 13th place, and that was someone shooting themselves up the order. That was Ivan Santamaria up into 4th place. Of course, we are back in the F1 World Cars this evening. It was found out throughout last week and the start of this week that the F1 cars are not equal on performance. So that's why we're back to the F1 World Cars. Collisions are still off due to the slipstream. I forgot to mention about the F1 World Cars earlier on in the stream. That's why you might be a bit confused in seeing them, knowing we were in the actual official F1 cars last time out, but no. They are not equal, and the F1 World Cars are back once again. So it's going to be a bit difficult to see which drivers are driving for which team. Of course, we know Simeone is for Alpine, and Dimas is for Ferrari, and Galanay is for VCarb. So for Sammy Simeone, he's now starting a lap. Mackie, why don't you take us on board with the man who won last time out in Hungary and is now right within that championship battle in 2nd place now in qualifying.
Well, as we head to the end of the Suzuka S's, then going to go through now. I believe we're now at turn 6. It's a very long left-hander. You're going to be heading through, and then you want to brake, not actually brake, you want to lift very slightly as you go through there, and then a heavy braking zone into turn 8 as rescues the car there. from sliding out under him. And then as you go through the hairpin, sorry, you're going to try and get on that exit, maybe take a bit more curb. You're going to head through now. It's all full acceleration as we head down into the next section of the circuit, into Spoon now. It's going to be a bit of a slide, stays within the track limits, just about cuts across, just avoiding that inside curb, then straight onto the outside curb, so you try and get full acceleration down towards 130R. Well, I think this is a corner that really makes or breaks a qualifying lap. You're going through now, you don't brake at all. As you're going straight through, you want to cut as far across the left-hand side of the track as you can to get the right-hander, and straight into the left-hander and into the final turn you go, cutting across the grass even. Actually, it's going to be entering the pit lane there. Decides to bail from that lap. And we'll go for the final lap shortly, I have to imagine.
Yeah, we'll come out a little bit later on. Was 2 tenths down in that middle sector after that mistake at the second Degner. So unfortunate there for Sammy Simeone. Now Alexander Dimas through that middle sector, up by just under a tenth of a second. This will really strengthen his grasp on that provisional pole position if he's able to pull this one off, as he's now heading up to the line, really aggressive through the Casio triangle. DRS open for Dimas, and he does find time to get into the 26.6s, and this can really be a tricky time to beat. We saw Simeone was up by half a tenth in that first sector. He now needs to find another half a tenth throughout the rest of that lap. Linus Donovan up into 6th place there. Nice lap from him. Still 4 tenths off though from Alexander Dimas, as Jeremy Gallonay is now on his lap. He's in 3rd place currently. And of course, we know here how strong he is in qualifying. He took the first 3 poles of the season. The past 2 races haven't gone his way when it comes to qualifying. So as he now enters up into Spoon Curve. That was Emil Lundell putting himself into 5th place. He broke Jeremy Gallonay's streak in Spain. And then, of course, last time out, Lucas Besnaya took pole position. So for Jeremy Gallonay, now heading up the hill into the middle sector split. What's it going to be for him in the middle sector? He's up by nearly 2 tenths of a second. What a lap this could be from Gallonay. In Austria, he did it early. He got the lap done and then waited for the rest of the session, and no one was able to beat it in the middle part. So now Jeremy Gallonay to the line. Where's it going to put him? Lost time in that final part of the lap, and he only goes into 2nd place at 26.735. Unfortunate there for Gallonay to not put himself onto pole position, and will have to try and fight that one again at the end of the qualifying session so far. Simeone's on an outlap. Santa Maria's on an outlap as well. I think a lot of these drivers are either on an outlap or on an in-lap. So at the minute, it is still Alexander Dimas out on top, but with Gallonay's scruffy final sector, shows there is still a lot of time to be found on this lap here, isn't there, Mackie?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's definitely a circuit where one small mistake can mess you up for several corners to come. So it's definitely a track you want to get right, and you can obviously make up time when possible. And that time there from Jeremy just really shows that pretty much anyone here is going to be able to take pole position if they could just put that one lap together.
Yeah, they really can. There are drivers who are currently just starting their laps in that first sector. One of them being all the way down at the back of the field, and that is Jack Humphreys. Now exiting out of the Kobayashi curb of turn 10. He's got Ivan Santamaria just behind him. And by just behind him, I mean pretty much on his gearbox, just following him through this first part of the lap. So for Jack Humphreys, currently slowest in this qualifying session so far, so needs to find a lot of time to promote himself up into at least 14th place. He needs to find at least 4 tenths of a second. So what's it going to be in the middle sector here for Humphreys? He's not actually up on his lap time, so it's been a really poor qualifying session for him, not having the pace at all. Let's hope his race pace is a little bit better, but he still does have time to come into the pit lane, put on a fresh set of boots, and go again. It's Ivan Santamaria following him in. Yes, he is. Sammy Simeone is on lap. Same with Isaac Leet as well. No, Leet is actually backed out of his lap. So it will be Sammy Simeone now, who's currently in 3rd place, up by 0.08 of a second. This will promote him up into 2nd place currently, but still just an arm's length away from Alexander Dimas's lap time. Really committed through the Casio triangle, but not as committed as we saw Dimas. DRS open for Simeone. Turn the line. He found a mega amount of lap time in that final part of the lap. It's a 26.569. Simeone, take a bow. What a final sector that was. It was clean, it was committed, and he absolutely executed that one to pinpoint perfection. Lucas Besnaya is not on a lap. He's just aborted out of his last one. He's still on a 27.0. But Sammy Simeone, with 3 minutes left to go on the clock, could have just put on a lap time that will be impossible to beat. We'll still have to wait and see though. But Mackie, he was only up by half a tenth in that middle sector, and then found an extra 2 in what is only two corners, a two-corner sector.
Yeah, that was a very, very impressive lap time to set. Must have found all that time through the chicane there that you've got at the end of the circuit. I don't really know what to say about that. That's a lot of time to fight in such a short sector comparatively to the other sectors you see across the calendar. So we're just going to wait now. We've got about 2 minutes 50 left in the session. Pretty much everyone's in the pit lane. They'll be, in fact, now starting to exit the pit lane. You've got Alexander Dimas and who was out in front of him. I think that might be Emil in front. Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, this could be a very interesting end to the qualifying session. We're going to have to see all these drivers really looking to find where they're losing time in that final sector, which must be where they're losing it if that's where Sammy was able to find it all.
Well, yeah, it will certainly be where drivers are looking at. It just seemed that Sammy was able to just ride those curbs a bit better than Alexander Dimas. Maybe that's where Alexander went a little bit wrong. Took too much curb, and that cost him dearly on his lap. He is looking low now, getting past Emil Lundell to be the driver that will start these final runs of qualifying. Of course, was on provisional pole since the first lap he set, and then Simeone with a lap of all laps able to change that one, that picture around. Is Simeone going to have enough time to come back out again after just trundling down the pit lane? I don't think he will unless he exits the pit lane now. He needs to really get out now to Simeone if he wants any chance of trying to better that lap and strengthen his hold on pole position. It doesn't seem like it, so it's all up to Dimas Galanaya and Isaac Leet. They are your top 4. All the drivers in the 1 minute 26 as Besnaya retires from the qualifying session. So, first driver to attempt to beat Simeone's lap time is the man who was leading on pole position for so long and the man that Simeone dethroned. It's Alexander Dimas now, heading down that main straight. Simeone has come out on the circuit, but it's going to be too late for him to get a lap time on the board. There is nowhere to really cut. So unfortunate for Simeone, that is his final run of the session. So for Dimas, heading through turns 1 and 2, very committed. Now through the Suzuka S's, riding a lovely amount of inside curve from the first part, missing the apex through turn 3, now through 4 and then through 5. What's it going to be in this first sector? Heading up Dunlop curve now for Dimas, who of course does drive for Scuderia Ferrari. What's it going to be in the first sector? Up by 37 milliseconds. Needs to find a 10th and 200th, so 1/10 and 20 milliseconds in that middle and final part of the lap. So now through the Kobayashi curve, really committed there for Alexander Dimas. He's going to hold onto this battery all for that run into 130R. That's where the battery is going to play dividends. And now heading through Spoon Curve for Dimas, down to 5th gear, roll the car through the second part, back on the power, use all the circuit on corner exit. What's it going to be for Alexander? Simeone, he is done. He can't improve, so it's all up to everybody behind him to try and beat him. And Dimas up by 1/10 and a half. Will this be enough? Will he find the time he needs in that final sector? Over the first part of Casio Triangle, then through the second. That seemed a lot cleaner this time around. So for Dimas, can he defeat Simeone here and dethrone him? Yes, he can, but only just. Now all eyes go to Jeremy Gallané and Isaac Leet. Leet's coming up to the line now. He's not finding time in the middle sector. What about the final one? No, he can't find the time that he needs in this qualifying session. Championship leader Justin Ertz, 1/10 down in that middle sector. I think he's backed out of this one. He's gone into medium battery. That's his session over. Leo Donatello up into 4th place. A brilliant lap time from him. Now all eyes switch onto Jeremy Gallonay, who took the first 3 poles of the season. We know how strong he is over 1 lap. Let's see if he's able to do anything with it here, but he needs to the most. He needs to find his way back into this championship battle. He's up by half a tenth in that middle sector, but at the moment, it won't be enough. Now into the final chicane. Is it going to be good enough? A bit wide through the middle of the chicane. And a bit of a slide as well on exit. DRS open for Gallonay. Will it be good enough? No, he stays in 3rd place. Jeremy Gallonay stays in 3rd. And it's Alexander Dimas who dug deep on that final lap to take pole position. Wow, just wow. 15 milliseconds separating that top 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we just have a quick look at confirmation there of our final grid, it's going to be Alexander Dimas alongside Sammy there in 2nd place. Jeremy Gallonay goes 3rd place. Leo 4th. Isaac 5th. Linus 6th. Eva Fox 7th. Ivan 8th. Lucas 9th. Emil 10th. And then Justin, Jan Daniel, Carlos Marcel and Jack Humphreys will round out the back of your grid. Yeah, what a qualifier session that was, Max. That was... insane. Alexander Dimas just able to, at the end there, just set that final lap time, find the time that was necessary as I just switch us back to our cameras moment. Yeah, that was a very impressive race. If I'm not mistaken, we do still have a lobby restart, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have to turn the collisions back on, so that will hold us up ever so slightly, unfortunately, here this evening. We will stay in the same lobby though, so it should be a quick in and out, and we should be back in the lobby within the next 5 minutes or so.
I think I just accidentally left it completely. I will just have to rejoin it.
Oh, Mackie.
That is on me.
It's alright though.
See if I can rejoin it.
You should be able to. The drivers are just getting underway to retire their cars and then get this lobby restart underway. But crucially in all of that, Exafox, who of course missed last time out in Hungary, of course wasn't there. That was big chances for Justin Ertz to extend his championship lead. Of course, Ertz didn't do that. Exafox only 7 points behind. He's out-qualified Ertz this time around as well here in... On for what could be a good race as well. I think he's starting from 8th place, so still plenty he can do from there. So the championship fight, the top 2 lower down the order, and then Simeone and Dimas, the front 2 rows of the grid, they're 11 and 15 points back points back respectively. So all it takes is a DNF for either for both Ertz and Exafox. And one of those 2 could be the championship leaders. So this race now, with the top 2 in the standings having such a poor qualifying, Mackie, really opens the door for Dimas and Simeone to really capitalise and score some big points.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into the next lobby, I do just need to quickly run a couple of ads. So, yeah, we'll be back in about a minute. And we are back, Max. So we've got this race coming up, obviously. Could we see some weather? Of course, it's on dynamics, so we don't actually know what the weather's going to be like. But could some rain here completely change up what we're going to see?
Oh yeah, 100%. Rain can change everything in this race. Of course, it seemed a bit overcast in that previous lobby, so I don't think the drivers were expecting rain at all in any point of that race. But it can be, as most people say in motorsport, it's the great equalizer is the rain. It means drivers that might not be so strong in the dry weather around a circuit, it levels out the playing field. It means that they can be on the same sort of level as the drivers in front of them. They may be better in the wet weather conditions. I know that happens to a lot of drivers where they actually do prefer the wet over the dry. So that could be something we could look out for. That could be the big undoing and unraveling of the likes of Dimas, Galanay, and also Simeone up at the front. It could be the rain that causes them to not have the pace that they showed in qualifying, but we're going to have to wait and see. But around Japan, always a threat of rain. Of course, the last time we had rain in the Grand Prix was in 2022, where we had that red flag shortened race and where Verstappen won his second title. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers take this one if it does start raining. But I reckon a lot of these drivers will be hoping for the dry, especially that top three. They know they've got the pace, so that's what they're praying for. But for drivers further back, like Aerts maybe, or even the likes of Humphreys, who was all the way at the back of the pack and starting last, he'll be hoping for rain because he knows that will give him the best chance at fighting his way through the field. And it just makes this track 10 times more of a challenge because track limits become harder to avoid. And also just the fact there's such limited runoff before the wall that drivers could end up aquaplaning, going straight on into some corners, and it can really open up this race. So rain on the cards certainly could spice this race up a lot.
Yeah, I would kind of like to see it. I think it will just add another level to this race. But we're just going to wait now. It looks like we'll be getting underway relatively soon. So assuming we get a full dry race, which is entirely possible, we could get mixed weather, we could get dry, we could get a full wet race. What do you reckon our strategy is going to look like? Are we going to see everyone on the same strategy, or are we going to see a good amount of mixing it up with the alternate strategy?
I reckon we're going to see a lot of dry, hard mediums, medium hards here this evening. I wouldn't be surprised if someone further back tries to extend those hards to either wait for a safety car or then go onto the soft compounded tyres, because it can be doable. It's just that around Japan, tyre wear is very, very high. So that's another thing these drivers need to look out for is tyre management. Not only is it track limits that need to look out for, it's tyre management, and also the battery as well. It's very difficult to build up battery other than that first sector around here, because most of it is flat out. So expect a lot of overtakes when it comes to someone saving their battery, putting it into none, where someone else has saved it a little bit earlier on in that, put it into medium. So it's going to be all about management. I reckon we're going to see a bit of a train form in that opening part of the race. It's a high-speed game of chess, really. That first stint, you don't really worry about too much. You just get into a good position and just settle in and just drive from that point onwards. And then from the pit stop window onwards, that's when you start pushing, trying to hunt down places. So it's going to be interesting to see the tyre management and what strategy drivers go for, but I'm expecting a lot of medium hards, hard mediums to really be the way to go here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, we are just waiting for a lobby restart. This is to make sure, I believe it's to do a slipstreaming in qualifying, disabling collisions, disables the slipstreaming for some reason. I won't try to talk about details of it because obviously I don't know, but it does look like we're about to get going again, Max. I'm going to say my prediction really quickly. I think, assuming we get a dry race, it's going to be a real competition at the front between Alexander Dimas and Sammy Simone, but I think anyone could really be up there for the podium positions. Justin Ertz as well at the top of the championship right now has every opportunity. Any final predictions, Max, before we get underway?
I'm going to go for my race winner, and I think that Simeone is going to do the double. I think he's got what it takes to do the back-to-back. Of course, Dimas has been unlucky so far this season. He's not won so far, but he's still put himself in contention. But he just hasn't had that final edge just yet, that clinical edge where Simeone showed that last time out in Hungary, getting that move done on track against Jay Kennedy. So I reckon Simeone's got this one, and followed by Dimas, and then third place, I'm going to go for Isaac Leet. I think he's going to go back-to-back podiums, just like how Simeone will go back-to-back wins. So that's going to be my top three, but it should be a very interesting race here in Japan. And the weather should be decided within the next few seconds. Once Gottschalk is able to load into the lobby, hopefully, that's when we'll see the weather. But it's taking a lot longer than I thought.
It is. We will just sit here and wait for just a moment while that happens. And there we go. We are pretty much ready to go then, as I just wait for this. No rain just yet, but very overcast.
It is very, very overcast, so we could see some rain. I'm going to quickly look at the tyre strategies for all of these drivers. I'm going to give it a minute so that do their setups. Of course, got to reapply their setups after this lobby restart. Their tyres, they've got to change the fuel as well in their car. So I'm going to have a look, just give it some time and see what the drivers elect to go for. So, at the minute, general consensus is everyone on mediums. Oh, I say that. Tornato goes on to the hards. So everybody on the mediums. Could this mean we do see a little bit of rain in the middle point of this race? That could certainly be a factor with everybody on this compounded tyres. As actually Leo's gone back onto the mediums now. So I think rain could certainly be on the horizon. Or is that hard medium strategy just too slow compared to the medium hards? We'll have to wait and see. Of course, now it's just a guessing game of when the drivers get underway because they've removed the timer, which is probably one of the worst things they've ever done. So we're now just sitting here waiting for the start. So we're about to get underway. So Mackie, take us away on this opening lap.
Absolutely. We have our 5 red lights, and as they now go out, everyone is away. And it's going to be Alexander Dimas gets a very good start there. Stays ahead of Sammy. Indeed, but Jeremy goes ahead into second place, tries to go around the outside of Dimas, doesn't quite make it work, but down the inside goes Sammy Simeone, and it's going to be staying in second place there for Sammy, and it's going to be Jeremy Galania just trying to keep a hold of third place, goes a bit wider, spins off, he's in the ground, he's hit the wall. We have a first retirement from the Japanese Grand Prix here at F4, and that's going to bring out a virtual safety car, which neutralises the Grand Prix. Everyone should stay at roughly the same gap to what they were before. Max, that was an incredible start, and someone who I thought could maybe be a podium contention here is already out of the Grand Prix.
Wow, just wow. Jeremy Gallinet, who needed a big evening here, out within the first few corners. Absolute disaster for the man who won the opening round of the season. Jeremy Gallinet, it has all just unravelled for him, and there was just his own error. He went wide at turn 1, picked up some marbles on the tyres. They obviously didn't clear off. He went wide again onto the grass on the exit of the turn 4, sorry, and that caused him to slide off into the wall and unfortunately end his race winning hopes early. That's allowed Leo Tomato to move himself up into third place, but he's under all kinds of pressure from Isaac Leak behind, who could look for a move into the chicane. Is everyone further back? There's a little bit of contact. Jans Fernlich, Emil Lundell and Lucas Besnaya all coming into blows together, luckily all keeping their front wings, but Emil Lundell caught out by Besnaya, caused him to go sideways. Sverdlik into the side of him, as now here comes Justin Ertz, your championship leader. Is he going to look for a move? He's dropped out of the points here as Justin Ertz, where his championship rival in second place. Exafox moves up to second, but Sverdlik goes wide. He's missing an end plate. Ertz squeezes him to the inside. Contact's made. Sverdlik into a slide, and Justin Ertz moves up into 10th place. Alexander Dimasso with a dream start. That virtual safety car helping him out massively. DRS is now enabled though, but it won't be really used until lap 3. But he's still 4/10 clear of Sammy Simeone as they exit with Degner 2. A really good start for Alexander Dimas, your pole man, as Justin Ertz now able to get past Emil Lundell. He's really starting to fly up the order here. Is your championship leader. We know he's better in the race pace, so Mackie, let's see if he's able to close down that gap to Besnaya as Lundell and Gottschalk go side by side.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see now, it's going to be Emil Lundell just going down the inside. He's now got to go round the outside. It's not quite going to work out for him. Daniel Gottschalk will stay in front in 10th place in that final points paying position. But further up, we've got Linus Donovan is trying to get past Isaac Leet for 4th position, of course, to then go chase after that podium. He's very close indeed. He could go for it into the chicane. No, isn't able to quite go out wide enough to make the move work. Yeah, this could be a very interesting race. Of course, we've seen a few races already get slightly ruined, and the safety car might be the only way to recover them. As we see further back, that's going to be Daniel Gottschalk is going to go past Justin Ertz as he's just trying to get back up into the points for his championship lead, but it's not quite going to happen as he now leaves the points and is down into 11th place now.
Yeah, just surprisingly by Justin, he's used all his battery already, and that was a big slide for Leo Tonato heading through turn number 4. That could have ended his race early if he just slid off a little bit wider, just like what Jeremy Gallinaya did just 2 laps ago. So, to exit out of Digna 2 for the 3rd time in this race, it was 27 laps this evening. Jens Verdlich comes into the pit lane for a set of the hard compounded tyres. Simeone really starting to fall off the back now of Dimas. Dimas with a really strong lead. The undercut could be very powerful around here though. A lot of key traction zones and a lot of places where the tyres, if they're younger and fresher, can gain a lot of time on those older compound of tyres, depending on what compound the drivers are on. So for Simeone, he's got a half a second gap further back to Leo. He's got Isaac Lee all over the back from him. He's used a bit of battery to catch up a little bit more as we now head through 130R. Is anyone going to go for a move? Because Linus Donovan under pressure as well from Ivan Santamaria. As we head into the Casio Triangle, no one getting their moves done. Isaac Lee surely wants to get by here on Leo. He's used a bit of battery on corner exit, still using some batteries. He's tucked into that slipstream. Is he going to get close enough, or is Leo going to get close enough to Simeone? No, he is not. He's just going to have to back out of that one and not go for the move around the outside. But these drivers, you could cover them with a blanket. That's how close they are. But still, Dimas leading out front. His gap now half a second. It's going to be a very, very long race for these drivers. It's going to be a lot like this for the first stint, I feel like. Very much procession-esque and just waiting for drivers to make mistakes. But that second stint, really where it starts to come alive, is Santamaria trying around the outside of Donovan into Degner 2. Not able to pull that one off. On that for a 27, the order stays the same as it was just 1 lap ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the track where I've already said it's very hard to make an overtake, but it looks like Daniel Gottschalk is just going to make the move stick. He moves up into 9th place ahead of Emil Lundell.
Yeah, really nicely done there from Daniel Gottschalk to keep that position from Emil Lundell behind. As you can see now, exiting out of Spoon Curve, Lundell will want to try and fight this one back. It's not been the greatest of showing so far for Emil. Of course, he was in Spain, had a good qualifying in Hungary as well, just was really unfortunate as Linus Donovan's now going to try and look to the outside of Isaac Lee. Marcel Paps able to get past Carlos Torres into the Casio Triangle as we now exit down that main straight once again. Leo getting closer to Simeone. Is he going to be able to go for it? No, he is not. Just not having the legs on the car in front to get by. And once again, heading into turn 1, everything stays as it is as we now head through the Suzuka S's for the 5th time in this Grand Prix. As look how much of a train is forming behind Sammy Simeone and Leo Tonato. So as we exit through Dunlop Curve, as we now head into Degner 1, Simeone only 500ths of his previous lap time, but still Dimas extending that gap up in front. Simeone really needs to start putting the power down as Verdlich's retired in the pit lane. I thought that was a retirement on the circuit as he hurts to the inside of Lundell and also Gottschalk on the inside of Besnaya. Can't get that one done for Gottschalk and he hurts back up into the points. Getting by Lundell, saved his battery over the past few laps, back up into that top 10. That's exactly what the championship leader needs. But Alexander Dimas scoring those crucial 17 points so far, because of course you get pole for point for pole position as well. So for Dimas, it's been a dream start so far in this Grand Prix. Still 6/10 clear of Simeone, who really needs to start trying to catch up to Dimas, or has he gone for more downforce because of the threat of rain that could be looming? As to the inside there, late on the brakes was Donovan, but wasn't able to get the move done on Lee. This could allow Santamaria to get the move done. Marcel Paps is spun in the background, and that's a slide for Donovan. That's allowed Exavox to not only get past Santamaria, but also him as well. A really opportunistic move here, maybe from Exavox, who'll be on the inside wide into turns 1 and 2. He can show Donovan the door round the outside, really squeeze Donovan to that outside line, which he does. Santa Maria trying to go to the inside now through turn 3, not able to pull that one off, but really opportunistic there from the man second place in the championship, Exafox, to move himself up into 5th place. Saw the mistake, opened the door, thank you very much, I'll take those 2 positions from you. Well, really well executed there from the man second in the standings.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move. That was very impressive indeed. And as we just continue to see now as they head up towards the very tight hairpin at the top of the circuit. Just going to see everyone staying in position just for now. But I think what we're going to see now is these medium tyres. Some drivers might be doing better on the heat, but they may start overheating for some drivers. And then say in another 5 to 7 laps time, we're going to start seeing who's done better on the wear as well.
Yeah, we certainly will see who have better tyre management. Just looked in the chat. I think the main reason Jeremy Gallinet retired, he forgot to put his setup on. So we was going to do a whole race on a dry setup, on a default setup. Sorry. So that's maybe why he made those mistakes and crashed on the opening lap of proceedings, because didn't have the setup he was most comfortable with. So heading down that main straight once again, as these drivers all the way down to Carlos Torres, all within DRS range. Paps into the pit lane for another set of tyres already. He's actually retired from the race. So that's 3 retirements in the opening 7 laps of proceedings. And we still have only 13 drivers in this Grand Prix, 12 of which still within this DRS train for the race lead. So will Exafox now try to capitalise on Isaac Leet and Leo Tonatello fighting in front, as Ivan Santamaria now to the inside of Linus Donovan. That was really well worked there from Santamaria. Saw the gap through Dunlop, was thank you very much, I'll stick my nose in where it doesn't belong, and he moves up into 6th place, now behind Exafox, who is still trying to hunt down Isaac Leet in front of him. So for Isaac Leet now, as he's all over the back of Leo, I think he really needs to get this move done. Leo is really holding up his pace, and with Simeone, yes, it's down to half a second to Dimas in front, still dropping time though and having to use his battery to catch up to the Scuderia Ferrari in front. Leet surely will have to get by, as Tonato is now going to look for a move on Simeone. He's going to look to the inside into the Casio triangle. Contact made. That's unsettled Simeone's car into under braking, but luckily for the pair of them, they both stay in a straight line. Nothing major coming from that. Really good defence there from Simeone. Parked his car in the middle of the road, and now he's going to look to attack at Dimas in front. Not able to do it though, as Tonato having to sit behind for now. Stays in 3rd place, but still under immense pressure from Isaac Lee. All these drivers just waiting for the driver in front just to go that slightly bit wide here, Mackie, and they'll capitalise on that mistake and try and get the move done as quickly as they possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, still any of these drivers in contention here, and if they've all gone for the mediums, the potential risk of rain, of course, I haven't seen what the weather's looking like just yet. But if it's got to be coming soon, surely, because these medium tyres, they're not going to last forever. They're going to last maybe lap 12, 13, maybe 14 before they're really going to have to think about getting off them. So I do have to wonder if they're expecting the rain soon, if that could be shaking things up. Of course, we've also got further battles happening. Looks like Linus Donovan was about to go for a move, had to back off a little bit though, not quite able to make it stick. Of all of them staying within DRS range like this, I don't think anything's going to really move too much until potentially Simeone potentially goes past Alexander Dimas in the next few laps. But of course, he's got to defend now against Leo Tonatello behind, who through 130R has gone for a move down the inside. That is an extremely brave move to make. And it looks like Simeone wasn't quite able to make the move back in the chicane. And that is a brilliant move there to come from Leo.
Yeah, really well worked there from Leo. Used his battery, caught Simeone by surprise. But here comes Simeone again, and Leo to the outside of Dimas. We're going 3 wide into turn 1. Dimas will come out on top, but who wins out for 2nd place? Leo around the outside, caught on the marbles, and Simeone moves himself back up into 2nd place. But Dimas came under a huge shed of pressure there, was in the middle, and luckily for him, was just able to brake later, be more committed into turn 1 and stay ahead of the pair of them. Leo, who thought he just made what could have been a move for second place, has dropped back down to third on the exit of turn 1 only a few corners later, and Simeone now up into P2 once more. He saw himself lose it just half a lap ago as Santa Maria trying the inside on Exafox. Exafox will have the exit on that outside line, gets the move done. This could allow Ivan Santa Maria to now come under pressure from Linus Donovan behind. Is he going to be able to get this one done? No, he's not. He's just going to have to sit behind into Spoon Curve. But it's all starting to heat up here in Suzuka in Japan, and now we're heading up into 130R again. Can we see a repeat of the move that Leo did last time around? He's not using any battery, so he's not going to go for it this time around unless he can go late enough on the brakes into the Gassio triangle. No, backs out that one early, but has to brake really late compared to Simeone to keep the car out of the rear end, as Dimas into the pit lane already. Same with Leeds as well, triggering the pit stops on lap 10 of 27. I think that's a very, very early call for these drivers.
It is. It's kind of a show of force that potentially the rain isn't coming then. Because you'd think they'd maybe extend out a bit longer if they're thinking about the intermediate tyres or the wet tyres, so it's going to come down that heavy. And we could be about to see an entirely dry Grand Prix. This is potentially going to have to cause Sammy Simeone and Leo Tonletto and all the others at the front to potentially have to think about how badly they're going to get undercut now and enter the pit lane this lap potentially.
Yeah, they certainly could, especially Simeone and Leo. They will certainly have to come into the pit lane at the end of this lap, and I think Simeone has started to use that battery. The gap between Dimas and Simeone is 21.4. Of course, on those colder tyres for that first sector for Dimas, he'll lose a bit of time, but now they'll be back up to somewhat working temperature. He can start to hunt that gap all the way back down. So for Dimas, still 21.4, now down to 21.3, and Simeone still leading out in front. He's got just over a second to Leo Tonatello behind. So we'll see which one of these drivers elects to come into the pit lane. Of course, last time around we saw Dimas and Isaac Leet into the pits. I think Isaac Leet was actually held up slightly by Dimas. Unfortunately, they were teammates together. Leo in, Exafox in, Santa Maria and Simeone and Gottschalk all stay out. So, for Sammy Simeone, he's hoping those hards do not work as favoured for these drivers. Where does Dimas come out compared to Leo in front of him? Heading through the final corner now is Alexander Dimas. He'll be heading down that main straight. Tonelletto is now coming out of the pit lane. Humphries has retired from this Grand Prix. That's a crash, and that's exactly what the top three needed. They stayed out longer, went for the safety car, and it's come straight out for them. Humphries on those 10 laps old hards crashed out in the first sector, and Sammy Simeone will be counting his lucky stars as he now will have the race lead from Santa Maria from Gottschalk with that safety car, and Dimas and everyone else who boxed after him will be looking in pure disbelief. If they stayed out for an extra lap, they would be in that battle for the race win.
Yeah, what this has done now is those three at the front, they now get the advantage to put on both fresher tyres and still come out in front. And what this has done also is brought Daniel Gottschalk straight back into this Grand Prix. He was sort of sitting around 7th, 8th, or even 9th place for pretty much all of this Grand Prix, and now he's going to be up in third. He's going to keep that third place even after the pit stop, because of course all these drivers are going to sit under a delta until they reform behind the safety car.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. You would be sure to think that Simeone, Santa Maria and Gottschalk all enter the pit lane now. It'll be stupid not to. Yes, they all do come in. They'll be onto a fresh set of those hard compound of tyres. So, Dimas, Leo, Exafox, Donovan. They are the drivers that are behind Simeone, Santa Maria and Gottschalk. They're the four drivers that boxed a little bit earlier and weren't able to capitalise on it. For the likes of Isaac Leet and also Donovan as well, it will mean they'll be able to catch up to the rest of the pack. So as you can see, exiting the pit lane there, just down that main straight, is Sammy Simeone, Ivan Santa Maria, and finally Daniel Gottschalk. Gottschalk will be counting his lucky stars, maybe a little bit more than Sammy Simeone, because he was nowhere in this race. He wasn't looking like he was race win potential at all. It's now brought him into race winning contention. But for Simeone, this could be destiny to go back-to-back race wins. We saw back-to-back race winners in Spain and also Austria. That was Justin Ertz. The 2 races before Simeone. Can we see in 4 races 2 drivers take back-to-back delights here in PSGL PCF4? That is going to be the question here in round 6 at Japan. Can Sammy Simeone hold on, or will Ivan Santamaria, who's not had the best of luck this season, his highest finish is a 5th place last time out in Hungary, say otherwise and take his maiden podium and race win of the season? It'll be interesting to see, but now here, Mackie, this is a straight dogfight for the race lead.
Yeah, this could be a very, very interesting restart. So you've got Sammy Simeone, Ivan Santamaria and Daniel Gottschalk on 1 lap newer tyres than everyone behind them. As of course they got the jump off this safety car being called out due to Jack Humphreys. Was it hitting a wall in the first sector? I do believe it was. So, due to that, the top 3 on the freshest tyres and have the track advantage. Alexander Dimas, of course, has been leading this race from the beginning and is now sat in 4th position after just getting a bit unlucky there and not being able to exceed the delta to get back into the lead. So as we head for the restart now, we're in the final few corners. Who is going to go when? Will Sammy Simeone wait a little bit, or will he go late? I think he's gone. No, we're going out for another lap. I thought it was in this lap. I can't lie. No, we have got another lap.
Oh, Isaac Lee. Isaac Lee into the pit lane once again. Could this be for a set of the mediums?
It could be.
Yes, it is. Isaac Lee going bold. He'll have to do 13 laps on those mediums, which is easily doable here this evening, especially on less fuel, and will be able to just push those tyres to the limit. So has Isaac Lee just pulled an absolute worldie of a strategy? Everyone else on the hards, him on fresh mediums. That grit difference will be absolutely insane and massive, and we'll have to focus on building that gap for the final few laps where his tyres will be worse than those harder runners in front. Could this be a play of all plays for Isaac Lee, who of course finished 2nd last time out in Hungary, or will it just not be enough for him? So for Simeone, safety car will surely be in the end at this lap, so we'll get back underway on lap 14 of 27. But Mackie, this is really a Hail Mary by Isaac Lee to try and win this Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be the right strategy call?
I think it's got potential. I won't speak for it until it is all played out, until we reach that final lap, that final corner. But it's definitely something interesting. Of course, he lost out heavily. He got undercut, and then then the safety car came out. So he served 2 laps on those hard tyres, but under safety car conditions. And now he's going to put on set mediums. He's caught up to the back of the pack already, so he's not really lost out all that much, apart from a few positions on track. This could be an insane strategy call, or this could have just ended his Grand Prix. It could go either way.
Yes, it certainly could. And there is your decision from race control. We're about to get back underway here in Japan. So for Simeone, he now takes over Bernd Mailander's role. He is now the impromptu safety car and will lead these drivers to green flag running. Everybody on the hards except for Isaac Leet at the back of the pack. And there goes Simeone heading through the Casio triangle. He's gone back to full throttle and we go racing once again here in Japan. Across the safety car restart line. Yes, it's still in that top left-hand corner, but we are now underway here in Suzuka. Simeone with a really good restart there, 3 tenths clear of Ivan Santamaria, from who's 3 tenths clear of Gottschalk behind. This is really where Simeone needs to put his foot to the floor and start to pedal that car through that first and middle sector to break that gap between him and Ivan Santamaria. He had the pace in the early phase to break away from Santamaria and also Gottschalk. If he can do that again here, Dimas can be in serious trouble. What's Isaac Leak doing? Let's see his progress on this opening lap after the safety car restart. Of course, it's a rolling start, so he won't be able to gain as many positions as if it was a standing start, but now he's all over the back of championship leader Justin Ertz. Not going to be able to get the move done, though. He's going to go for the switch back low and try to get the better run. Lucas Besnaya with a slide, causing Justin to have to take avoiding action. Isaac Leak, though, not anywhere for him to go, but he's now looking for it. Heading up into Spoon Curve. Is he going to go for it this time around? No. Ertz, though, pushing Besnaya through. Leak spots a gap, not able to get past this time around. Half a second is the gap out in front, but this time, though, Leet using his battery. Got to look to that inside line on those mediums into 130R. Just backs out of it again, though. Doesn't have the straight line speed to get past Ertz. Here to the inside, Isaac goes. Is he going to be able to pull this one off into the Casio triangle? Ertz holds it around the outside and still able to hold on here. Valiant defending from Ertz. Gottschalk able to get past Santamaria. Here comes Dimas as well. Can they both get past Ivan Santamaria heading into turn one? No, Dimas just having to back out. Squeezed to the inside there by Ivan Santamaria. But it's a dream getaway for Samione. He's half a second clear and he's starting to build that gap out in front. Now heading through the Suzuka S's. And with Santamaria holding up Dimas, that's exactly what he needs if he wants to win this Grand Prix.
Yeah, of course, is exactly what Daniel Gottschalk as well wants as well. Of course, he's not had the greatest pace so far this Grand Prix. This is definitely a lifeline for him to potentially get a podium around here in Suzuka. And Ivan Santamaria just holding Alexander Dimas up, who of course has every potential to be winning this Grand Prix. He was leading it for the first 13 laps, of course. He could, of course, be just held up here, and it could actually be impacting his chance at a podium. You've also got, has Justin Leak been able to make anything work on his tyres just yet? No, he has not. He's still behind Justin Ertz, down outside the points paying positions for the two of them. And ahead of that, in 10th place, it looks like Lucas Basler is making some progress as well on the likes of Emil Lundell, who is just got ahead of Carlos Torres for 8th position, which could potentially give an advantage to those behind. But Alexander Dimas gets past Ivan Santamaria, goes into 3rd place. Looks like Leo Tonelato is also going for the move as well. Hasn't quite been able to work out. So Alexander Dimas really the winner there, but they're going to be 3 wide as they head towards turn 1 as they go back into single file. There's going to be Leo in 4th, Exafox in 5th, and Ivan has moved all the way down into 6th place.
Yeah, horrid restart so far for Santamaria. Heading down into turn 1 twice, gets overtaken by a total of 4 cars. So now, heading through that first sector, Santamaria just needs to collect himself, shake off a few cobwebs, and go again. Gottschalk was able to close that gap down to 3/10 of a second. It's now back up to 7/10 as they exit out of that first sector. Oh, a big slide there for Leo. Took a bit too much inside curb, and now he's got Exafox all over the back of him. Could we see a lunge into the hairpin? No, we cannot. The Kobayashi curb is not where Exafox is looking for a move, but it's where Isaac Lee is looking for a move on Justin Ertz, and he's managed to pull that one off absolutely perfectly. Really nice for him there. Lundell's able to get past Carlos Torres. Now heading into Spoon Curve, these guys have dropped a second from the top 7, so the likes of Donovan and Santamaria don't have to worry about Lundell behind as of yet. Lundell hasn't got the battery either to catch up to that top 7, so they still are just going to keep pulling away at this moment in time. Santamaria could drop to the back of this train during all of this, and Gottschalk could move himself up into that race lead. Leak's able to get past Besnaya there for 10th place, and he's up into the points now on that alternate strategy. Will Gottschalk go for the move? He's going to look to the inside, but no. Elects to not use any DRS. Dimas closing at a rate of knots, nearly into the back of Daniel Gottschalk, but it's still Simeone out in front from Alexander Dimas and Leo Tonoletto. And then finally, rounding out that top 5 is Exafox. He is looking for a way by into that top 4, and this is absolutely perfect for Exafox being this high up the order, because that means he can certainly take that championship lead here this evening.
Yeah, there's every possibility here for Sammy to make some progress in that championship, but it's only time's going to really tell here, because Alexander Dimas is got challenges from behind, but he also needs to challenge in front if he wants to go again for the lead. So they all head to the hairpin. A little bit of contact between Dimas and Gottschalk by the looks of it. But yeah, it's going to be Gottschalk remaining in second position, at least for now. He's challenging Sammy Simeone going into Spoon Curve. He's going to have to stay behind, but he's really got to worry about what Dimas is going to be able to put out here as we head down the straight. We'll get a very nice exit there. Dimas there potentially getting it even better than Gottschalk was able to, and he's gaining very quickly down the straight. Of course, probably deploying a bunch of battery to make this work as we head into 130. Dimas going to go down the inside. He tries to, but it's not quite going to go. But Gottschalk going for the lead of the Grand Prix. Down the inside into the chicane. He does it. It's a switch back there for Sammy Simeone, but it's not going to be enough. Gottschalk takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix ahead of Sammy Simeone, and Dimas now has got to get past if he wants to go to the leads. He will with the DRS wide open. Sammy Simeone, the only one there. He's going to be overtaken twice down the main straight. Dimas into second place as Simeone tries to maintain third place. It's going to be difficult though. So he has the inside into turn 3, and it's going to be enough. Sammy Simeone will remain in third place.
Really, really well worked there by Gottschalk. Knew he had the DRS advantage down that main straight and just took his opportunity. He saw that Simeone was not ready to fire that one into the Casio triangle and talking about fighting it, maybe even into deck not one. Simeone will have to try and fight it, but no, Leo has to back out of that one. He won't get close enough for a lunge to that inside line. Isaac Leet has caught himself back up into that train. He's now eight in on the road, as we go 2 by 2 pretty much on the exit of the chicane. Santa Maria goes a little bit wide. This could invite Leet to maybe go for a move into Spoon Curve. He's just over a 10th behind Santa Maria as we now head down and up into Spoon Curve. No, just not able to get that one done is Isaac Leet this time around. Now all eyes turn on to Alexander Dimas to try and get that move re-overtake now on Daniel Gottschalk. Just is able to get past Emil Lundell in the background. Lucas Basner, the only driver now out of the DRS range of anybody throughout the field. Simeone having to brake really early there into the chicane, maybe not confident on his braking zone, or is just saving that battery a little bit longer. So here we go, we'll see Dimas surely swap for the lead this time around. No, he elects to turn off the DRS, and Simeone's getting closer and closer. Besnaya has retired from the Grand Prix, so we're down to 11. Aerts is able to get past Carlos Torres as well. So he's up at the 9th place in this Grand Prix, your championship leader. So scoring some points, that's crucial for his championship challenge. We'll have to wait and see if he can find his way and move further up the order. But so far, Daniel Gottschalk leading from Alexander Dimas. Gottschalk started 13th, now first, and a really strong performance, even with this safety car restart, for Daniel Gottschalk to be leading this Grand Prix. He's had to work for it, and he certainly has worked very hard to take the lead so far in this session.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been a brilliant drive with a little bit of luck in there for Daniel Gottschalk as things currently stand. We're on lap 19 of 27. We're approaching the final stages of the Japanese Grand Prix here in PCF4 at PSGL. But Leo Tonoletto is going now for third position. Is he going to be close enough as we head into 130? Oh, no, I don't think he is. I think he's got to worry about Exafox behind, who is gaining quite significantly on this straight. Going into 130 on now. Could look for the inside. It's going to be too far back, though. Isn't going to make it work. As we see now, it's going to be, everyone just staying in position. But someone goes down the inside. That's going to be Linus Donovan. He's going for a very brave move around the outside there after the switchback. And he's going to move 2 places through the chicane. He's going to move up into 4th position. That was an insane move by Linus Donovan, but he does lose one of them back to Leo.
Yeah, really nicely done there from Linus Donovan, and he's lost it again to Exafox. So all that hard work undone as there goes Isaac Leet versus Justin Ertz. They were able to get past Ivan Santa Maria, who had a poor run thanks to that battling up in front. So that's Leet up into 7th place. Those mediums will still be in good nick at the moment, so he can still try and move forwards in this Grand Prix. 7th place at the moment. He's gone bold on the strategy front. I don't know if this strategy play, though, has really worked for him just yet. We'll have to wait and see, though, as Gottschalk still 3 tenths clear of Dimas, who's still half a second clear of Sammy Simeone, as we now head through the Kobayashi curve and head into Spoon Corner once more. Gottschalk 4 tenths clear, Simeone half a second behind Dimas, and Leo Tonatello is now all over the back of Simeone once again. He lost his place to Linus Donovan just a lap ago, but Donovan went
it's a huge spin in the background.
Instantly. Oh, it's Emil Lundell. Emil Lundell running wide through turn 4 and And Leo has done it again on Simeone. Donatello has moved up into 3rd place. He's done it on Simeone again into 130R. This time it was round the outside. Donatello really bold here in Suzuka. He's going for those outrageous plays. He knows he's got nothing to lose. He's not going to be in the championship battle. There's too little left in the season. It's his debut here in F4, and he's really showing himself as a true contender for race wins this season. Exafox now to the inside of Simeone, leads to 2nd and 3rd in the championship. They're battling over crucial points here this evening, and that stage 5th place for Exafox and Simeone still in 4th. But Leo Tonoletto, take a bow. Another fantastic overtake into 130R. That's exactly what you way to introduce yourself here into PSGL F4 as someone that takes risks and doesn't back out of crazy overtakes. Like we've just seen an Isaac Lee and Justin Ertz going side by side. Contact made. And that's allowed Ivan Santamaria through. But Leo, wow, just wow. He's very bold. He is aggressive. And he has arrived here in F4.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I don't know F4 anywhere near as well as you do, Max. But I'm sure it's going to make things very interesting for the future of the championship into the final half of the season. So now, as we just continue to wait, it looks like Alexander Dimas is really starting to catch on Daniel Gottschalk. Maybe he's going to look for a way around this lap around. Don't think it's going to be, maybe it's DRS zone, but that's going to be Exafox down the inside of Sammy Simeone. It's not going to be enough, and in fact, being ghosted by the game, which potentially messed him up just a little bit, as it looks like Linus Donovan's going to go past with that DRS active, but Dimas now goes into the lead of the Grand Prix. He's been behind now for about 8 laps. After that safety car was called out and Daniel Gottschalk and the 2 others were able to gain an advantage, but he's now got the lead of the Grand Prix back, and now it's going to be Exafox is back down into 6th position, as it looks like Isaac Leet's strategy call hasn't quite worked out for him.
No, Isaac Leet there was trying to go around the outside of Exafox, who caught that inside curb, slung up to the inside of Isaac Leet, and unfortunately punted Leet off the road. So I don't know if we're going to get any stewards inquiries for that one from Isaac. Just really unfortunate how Exafox's car did not react nicely to the curb. Unfortunately lost all control. Gottschalk still over the back of Alexander Dimas as we're on lap 22 of 27. Not long left in this Grand Prix. Dimas leading the way. He's been the bridesmaid so far this season and never the bride. So we'll see if Dimas can now take his maiden race victory this season in PSGL PCF4, but he still has a lot of threats behind him. Daniel Gottschalk getting closer and closer as we head through 130R. This could be the same move he pulled in Simeone. He knows he's got the DRS advantage now on the exit of the chicane, but he's gone too deep. He's gone on the grass on the outside. He's had the car across the chicane. Nice and fairly on the rejoin though, but that's allowed Simeone to capitalise on Donatello. They're going to be 3 wide maybe, heading down that main straight. There goes Gottschalk on Dimas. Here comes Donatello and Simeone round the outside of Dimas. And look at that from Simeone. Lace on the brakes, as committed as you can be around the outside through Suzuka, and he's managed to pull that one off absolutely effortlessly up into 2nd place. Has been, and it was nearly down to 6th with Donovan and Exafox. That was absolutely pinpoint perfection from Simeone. Used his battery wisely, knew exactly how to get that move done. Gottschalk takes the race lead though, and he now has a ½ a second advantage over Simeone in front. Just look at this train of cars though, all separated by a 10th heading into the Kobayashi curve, and that's Exafox being forced wide. That's going to allow Ivan Santamaria to get the inside line. It's now to drive out of the corner to then swing them round to that right-hand side, that right-hand curve, which will give Exafox the advantage for now. But into Spoon, Santamaria will be there. He'll be on the inside line, and there goes Exafox all the way off the road. A big slide on corner exit, and that's allowed his championship rival, Justin Ertz, through. He's up into 7th place. Exafox down to 8th. It's been a bit disaster of the last 3 or 4 laps for Exafox. He's just been falling backwards, and just about Ivan Santamaria within DRS range of Linus Donovan in front. But here comes the Ertz to the outside line. Is he going to pull this one off? A brilliant move from your championship leader if he can. It'll be DRS open down that main straight. Simeone won't get close enough to Gottschalk. There goes Aerts to get the move done. Here comes Exafox to the inside of Santa Maria as well. Can he pull this one off as they all congest up in front? Leo not able to get the move done. Further up on Simeone. Leak picks up a 3-second time penalty, and there goes Exafox past Justin Ertz. Sorry, not Justin Ertz, Ivan Santa Maria. He moves up into 7th place, but crucially, he was fighting the man that was third in the championship. He's now just fought the man that's leading the championship and lost out. He's now down to 7th place, so it's been a disastrous couple laps for Exafox. Lap 24 of 27. Not long to go here. 4 laps to go here in Suzuka, and it's Daniel Gottschalk who's nearly broken DRS from Sammy Simeone behind.
Yeah, that was some insane racing. We saw him go 3 wide into turn 1 a couple of times. We saw Dimas lose 3 places through just 1 corner as well. It's kind of potentially, that's the end of Alexander Dimas's race win chance, because he's still got a chance to come back. We do still have 3.5 laps left to race around here in Suzuka, but Linus Donovan now is challenging Alexander Dimas. He just seems to have gone from commandingly leading the race for the first 12 laps to just really struggling to keep up with everything else. And Daniel Gottschalk as well is really the one on at this amazing drive. Was sat down in 8th before the safety car and is now leading the Grand Prix by over 7 tenths.
Yeah, he really is, and that has been a really good strategy so far for Gottschalk. That safety car's helped him. Maybe just struggled in that compact field, that dirty air, and now he's got that clean air out in front. He's really been able to show what he is made of. Of course, Gottschalk, so far this season, before this evening, where is he in the standings? Highest finish was 3rd in Spain. Didn't start last time out in Hungary, and then his other results that he started were a 5th place in Austria, and 8th place in Silverstone. So, for Gottschalk, this won't be his first rodeo to the roster, but he's made him win here in F4 this season, in season 37. So now heading into turns number 9 and 10. Of course, very tricky to point out your braking zone, especially with no ABS, easy to lock up that left front tyre. But at the moment, Simeone and Gottschalk starting to break away from the field behind. It does seem like now, Mackie, Leo is starting to cause a little bit of a train behind him as Dimas is applying abundance of pressure on the driver in 3rd place. Yeah,
absolutely. But you've also got to worry about Dimas as well behind him 4th. He's not lost too much time. He's still there with Leo in 3rd place. He wants his podium back. He wants his 1st place back. But Linus Donovan almost looks to be going for a move into 130R. That would have been very interesting. In fact, he is round the outside through the chicane. Oh. Dimas on the inside, but he's spun. He's spun. He's ghosted. Linus Donovan's going to lose a lot of places now. He's down into 8th position. That's the unfortunate bit of contact there as he went for a very bold move, but Dimas moves up into 3rd ahead of Leo Tonoletto.
Yeah, and there goes Justin Aerts up into 4th place. We know he's strong in the races. A poor qualifying, now into a very, very strong race performance. As we've got 2 laps to go. The penultimate tour of Suzuka is now underway. We'll have 1 more DRS attack from Simeone on Gottschalk. Simeone has been saving his battery, but so has Daniel Gottschalk as well. It needs to be a pinpoint perfect lap from Simeone to catch up. Exafox to the inside of Tonoletto, and unfortunately, too bold there and forced wide by Donovan. He's across the road and he's falling down to 9th place. Disaster for the man 2nd place in the championship. Torres to the outside now of Linus Donovan. Can he get this one done? Can he get it stopped in time? No, he cannot. He can't get that one done. Round the outside, and we'll have to wait and see now as we move further back up the order. Simeone took the win last time out in Hungary, getting the move done on the penultimate tour of proceedings. Gottschalk, not won so far this season, but his best result is a 3rd place. So as we're about to enter the final tour of this fantastic and thrilling Japanese Grand Prix, will it be Gottschalk or will it be Simeone? Gottschalk has the better battery, but Simeone has the DRS advantage. Here we are then, Simeone with the DRS. He's going to look to that inside line, and he's moved himself up into that race lead. Can it be back-to-back for Sammy? And Aerts moved himself up into 3rd place. It's been a champion's drive from the championship leader. He's been so determined. He looked like he was not going to get anywhere near the top 5, let alone the top 3 at for the majority of this race, but he's been able to fight back through adversity and now move himself up into third place. But for Sammy Simeone, he's out in front. The deficit between him and Aerts will be slashed into half. He's 11 points behind. He will gain a total of, if I can quickly do my maths correctly, it'll be slashed into 5 points between Simeone and Justin Aerts if everything stays as it is. Only a few more corners for Sammy Simeone to go and only one big braking zone. Gottschalk, as I said earlier, with the advantage on the battery. We've now got the run all the way from Spoon Curve into the Casio Triangle. Can Gottschalk do it? Can he get close enough to Simeone? He's got to look for it to the inside into 130R on the final lap of proceedings. Gottschalk has got the move back done. Simeone can't fight back into the final corner. It's going to be Daniel Gottschalk with a battery management race won absolutely perfectly. It's a maiden win here in PSGL PCF4. Daniel Gottschalk take a bow to the inside through 130R on the final lap to pull off what was a magnificent overtake on the man looking for back-to-back glory. It's heartbreak for Simeone, pure delight for Daniel Gottschalk. Wow, just wow, how has he pulled that one off? Absolutely pinpoint perfection. The safety car came out perfect from him, and then when he was in that clear air, he looked like a completely different driver, and when he needed to the most, managed that battery perfectly. Gottschalk, what a race win from 13th on the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an insane race. So I'm just going to take you through now. Confirmation of final finishing positions. Gottschalk wins by just 0.2 of a second to Sammy Simeone behind in second place. Justin Aerts has a brilliant recovery drive after being near the back at through qualifying. Gets third place in the end ahead of Alexander Dimas, who really put up a huge fight after leading for the first 12 laps. Finishes 4th position. Leo Tonoletto finishes 5th place. Ivan Santamaria 6th. Carlos Torres 7th. Linus Donovan finishes 8th after having a not great final couple of laps. A little bit of contact was made. Exafox 9th, a similar story there as well. Isaac Lee on the trying the two-stop strategy, didn't quite work out for him. Finishes 10th place, picks up that final point. Emil Lundell, Lucas Basler, Jack Humphreys, Marcel Paps, Jan and Jeremy Galania, all classified as did not finish. Unfortunately for them, all for various reasons. But Max, what a race that was, as I just bring us back to our cameras.
Just wow. Daniel Gottschalk, just, that was bold, it was brave, it was beautiful from Gottschalk really there. I just don't know what to say really. That was just absolutely beautiful from Gottschalk. It was so committed. He knew that was his only opportunity right then and there. He had the overspeed. If he backed out of that one, Simeone could have easily defended into the Casio Triangle, and Gottschalk took his moment. He's won here in PSGL PCF4, and that will add 16 points to his tally and move him up to 35 points. So that should put him around about 5th place. Yeah, it should be put him 5th place in the championship. He'll be a little bit further back than you would want to the top 3. Top 4, sorry. But that was absolutely magnificent. And also a brilliant drive from your championship leader, Justin Aerts, as well here, Mackie, because not only did he start 11th, yes, he started further back than Gottschalk, but throughout none of that race did we think he was going to be onto that podium. But this time round, and at the very late stage of that race, I've known he's good at very good management on that in that final stint to then push throughout the latter stages. And yeah, it was brilliantly done by Aerts, and that could be a race that could look like to win in the championship maybe.
Yeah, it could be. So, are you happy to host some interviews? I think Justin Aerts is already sat in the waiting room. Okay, we'll bring in Justin Aerts, and your championship leader and your 3rd place finisher. Yeah, Max just going to host a quick interview with you.
Ooh. Okay, Justin. Another brilliant performance from yourself. First of all, talk us through that one. How did you find that race?
Chaotic, very chaotic, and again, a very good qualifying for me. Definitely no sarcasm there. But yeah, the entire race would look like was gonna be P7, P8 at best, and then boxing, and then getting held up in the pits because great game, and then a safety car right after that, which meant basically I was last place. And then for majority of the race, it was very much P10, P9 towards the end. But then lap 21 onwards, every lap I was doing an overtake until eventually I found myself in for a shot at P3. And then ERS management, the entirety through Sector 1, Sector 2, was able to defend. It was good fun. It was a very fun race.
Yeah, it did seem like that. Talking about you getting third place in those overtakes in the final laps. Earlier on, before that, did you even think a top three was possible with all the
N-
racing that was going on in front of you?
No, not at all. Definitely. I was very happy if I even finished P7, P8, and then once the safety car came out and the double stack, I was last. At that point, I was kind of just hoping for P9 at most. But yeah.
Yeah, it was very good for those final few laps. And I mean, you boxed that little bit too early for that safety car. I mean, you must have been thinking there, that's it, that race done. I'm not gonna get anywhere near that top five.
Yeah, for sure. Considering the entire first stand, it was pretty cool to see, but not when you're at the back of the train. It was cool to see that P1 to was a P13 was separated maybe by 3-4 seconds at most. So it just showed the level of this field. So like you said, once I saw the safety car came out and I was last, I knew it would be very difficult to overtake. But it was just about finding my rhythm, finding where I'm quicker than the person in front of me, and then ERS manage. And yeah, a lot of it was a DRS pass, but that's because I had more ERS. And yeah, it was a lot of things went my way today.
Yeah, they certainly did. And I mean, your championship lead only comes down ever so slightly from Sammy Simeone behind. He gains a total of 2 points on you, actually. So, actually, I think you extend your championship lead up at the top by 2 points. So, of course, not long left in the season now. What's your thoughts on the rest of the calendar? Of course, next week we head to Saudi, and then we've got Mexico, Belgium, Monza, Qatar, and Brazil. Those strong tracks for you, and what do you think for the rest of the season?
Well, Jedi, I haven't done much yet on this track, if any. Mexico, I did some, and this is my favorite track, so hoping to finish off strong there. But I mean, I'm missing one race. I think it's Belgium I'm missing, or Italy. I'm not too sure. So I am trying to just score as many points as I can, so like that it looks better on the standings for next season. Hopefully, promotion wise. But obviously, if I can get the championship, I'll get the championship. But I'm quite happy with what I'm doing right now.
Well, yeah, congratulations, Justin, on a very, very strong P3 at the end there. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening, and good luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully, we see you back again.
You will, you will. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
How was that then, Mackie? Justin Ertz looking to extend that championship lead by 2 points, and now we're looking to score as many points as possible, knowing that he misses a race at one point this season. That's going to be very difficult now for him to. He really needs to just try score those big points and get those consistent podiums for the rest of the season, you would think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely just going to have to be a case of him just really trying to capitalise where it works. Exactly like today, just managed to find a little bit of extra pace at the end of the Grand Prix and just capitalise, get that third place, despite just not looking like the strongest driver on the circuit.
Yeah, he certainly will. And I talked about the calendar there, so I might as well quickly run through it.
I'm not sure if I've actually got a screen for that, so...
I can quickly read it out. It's not the end of the world. Of course, you heard me read it out, but I'll give you some exact dates for it. So Jeddah will be next week, August 22nd, and that should be an enthralling race in the Middle East under the lights. Then we head to North America to head to Mexico on August 29th. Then September 5th, we head to the Ardennes Forest in Spa in Belgium. Then we head to Monza on September 12th, followed by a stint back to the Middle East for Qatar. And then we head to South America for the season finale in Brazil, September 26th. You do not want to miss that one, because now we know that Justin's missing a race. We are surely going to have a championship battle on our hands. Well, that was the midpoint of your season. I don't think we've got any other drivers through into the interviews now. So your championship battling drivers will probably go as follows. It'll be Justin Ertz, Exafox, Simeone, Dimas, Esti, Galinet, and then the man who won here this evening, Daniel Gottschalk, putting himself into contention as well. 7 drivers within a chance of the championship, and maybe even Isaac Leet as well. So we could have a total of 8 drivers scrapping it out for the championship coming into those last few rounds. Of course, now we've hit that halfway stage of the season. It is 6 races to go. The first 6 are done. The second 6 are upon us. Mackie, what do you have to say about this evening and any last thoughts?
Well, it's been a great race to watch. Appreciate you having me on here for F4 Max. And I hope I will see you on some other race, potentially next week. You said Miss Sky still isn't here next week, so I could be here. I could be on another tier, but you will see me around. Any final words, Max, before we end the stream?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Mackie, for coming in as a reserve here for Myth. It's been an absolute pleasure having you alongside me. And yeah, thank you all for the support. I know when me and Myth are here, we truly appreciate it. Same with Mackie as well. Everyone here in PSGL appreciates your support. If you want to drive here, make sure to join the Discord. I think it's in the Twitter, which is PSGL, of course. And yeah, make sure to tune in tomorrow for E-Series and next week for what should be an emphatic race around Jeddah. 6 down, 6 to go. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and yeah, over to you, Mackie, to round off a very, very good race.
Well, I think you've done a pretty good job of rounding that out, so we're just going to end it there. Thanks everyone for watching PSGL PC F4, and we'll catch you next week.